All right. Welcome to your 5K strength class, guys. All right. If you have any light dumbbells or bands, we are going to be doing some side steps. So if you have some bands and you want to use them around your knees, or if you have your light dumbbells to do some of the exercises with, go ahead and grab those. Make sure you have some water close by, and we will get warmed up. We are also going to focus on stretching some of our hip flexors today, helping some of that really tight hip flexor, especially if you're doing crunches and you get that snapping hip syndrome. We're going to do some stretches to help lengthen that today. So let's get it started. All right. Let's bring it to center. And from here, we're just going to bring our arms up, all the way up. Reach, inhale in, and bring the arms down and behind you. Interlock those fingers together, roll the shoulders back and down. And then bring the arms back up. And bring them out to the side. Take a bend with those knees and bring it back up, reach up and down. To come up, just adding in that squat. And then from here, instead of going up, we are just going to come forward, bring the arms in, out, in, out. Or you can reverse it. You can bring them in to come out, in to come out. I really want us to start to open that chest, squeeze those scapulas together, and warm up those legs. Last one. Pick up that knee for some knee lifts. Nice and high. Pull that core in. All right, some butt kicks. Bring that heel up to your glutes. Add a nice little bend in the knees. 3, 2, 1, and stand it still. We are going to do some leg swings. Take whatever leg you want to first. Bring it up and back, up and back. For 3, 2, 1, switch legs. Keeping that torso upright, chest open. Letting gravity do the work for you. Okay, almost there. Pick it up and drop it back down. Stretch out those feet, pressing the toes into the floor. Alternate sides. All right, step it back. Find some space, hinge it over, nice and slow, and then walk it out into a plank. And then drop the knees down. We're going to take our right foot, bring it forward. Make sure that ankle is right underneath the knee. We're going to bring our right arm up in the air. And then we're going to come and sit up on this leg. We're going to take our left leg and just turn that foot in behind us. So if it's straight behind you, turn it in a little bit to the side so that that knee is essentially pointing out on that diagonal. And then again, you're just going to lean forward. And we're focusing on this left hip flexor opening and stretching, forcing those hips down and forward. And sit those hips back, bring that foot back in line. And we're going to replace that foot, bring it back, left leg comes forward. Make sure the knee's not past the toe. Left arm comes up, open up that chest. And bring it back up. Same thing, we're going to turn that right foot in just a little bit, and then again, lean it forward. And then I want you just to lean a little bit away from that hip. So leaning a little bit towards the left. You got to kind of find that stretch and where it works. And bring it back up. And bring that leg back under. We're going to bring those arms out into a child's pose. Reach them down out in front, walk them out. Sit it back. And reach and hold. And flip it over onto the back. We are just going to warm up that leg one more time because we do have some bicycle crunches. So we want to make sure those hip flexors are nice and warm. So we're going to bring it onto the back. You're going to put one foot down on the ground. Left leg extends out straight. And you're just hovering that leg off the ground. Flex that foot. And all you're going to do is just slide that left leg out to the side as if you're a clock. Bring it to about as high as you can get it over here, and then bring it back in line. And repeat. You just want to bring it all the way over, keeping those toes facing the ceiling. Do this about 3 times. Bring it out. And back in, switch legs. So this is a loaded stretch. By keeping it off the ground, it's making it a little bit more intense. Bring that right leg out to the side. And back in line. Oh, I gotta move over. And same thing, bring it all the way out. Back in. One more time. And back in. Place those feet down on the ground. We're going to pull in our belly button down to the floor. Tilt those hips back. Squeeze your cheeks together and lift up into a glute bridge. Another really good stretch for those upper hip flexors. And hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Bring the legs into the chest. Take a nice little stretch here. And we are going to get ready for our first round. We have a little circuit of about 6 or 7 exercises that we are just going to go right down through. They are some lower body focus, some focusing on opening up that chest, building the core. And the first exercise is going to be sidestepping squats. So if you have a band and you'd like to use that to make it a little bit harder on yourself, feel free to grab it. Otherwise, you can do it without it. So I'm going to absolutely torture myself a little bit today because I'm already sore. If you are too, that's good. We'll work through it. So for this one, you're just going to be down in that low squat position. And you want to sit it down, find that squat, and you're just going to bring the other leg in, out, in, and out, and bring it side to side. 30 seconds, back and forth. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, sit it down. You can also keep it up nice and high if you need to have a little bit of a modification. And close. And you can work with the space you have. If you don't have a lot of space, you can just bring it side to side. Open and close, 10 seconds. Stay low, get back low. Watch those knees. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, bring it down. Onto the floor, onto our elbows. We have a body saw plank. So plank on the elbows, rocking forward and back. So hands come down, we're up. We push forward and we push back, just using your toes to propel you forward and back. Really help target those shoulders and arms as well. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Pull that core in, rock it forward and back, forward and back. Ten seconds. Three, 2, 1, bring it down. All right, shake it out. All right, we have some sumo squats. My brain is not working so well today. So sumo squat, nice and wide. Point those toes out to the corners. If you have a weight, feel free to add one, make it a little harder. And we're just gonna keep that core pulled in. Squat it down. Bring it down, chest open, shoulders back. Press through those heels all the way up and squeeze the glutes at the top. Five seconds. And break. All right. Next one is a row to fly. So if you don't have weights, that's fine. You're just gonna row, squeezing the scapulas together to bring it down to fly, come out. If you have weights, when you're doing your fly, I'll use my 2-pounders today. When you're bringing your fly, try not to bring them too far behind you and not too far up. You don't want to hyperextend those shoulders. What you can do is bring them a little bit more out in front of you, as if you're going to have your arms here, have a little bit of a bend in the elbows, and then just hinge it over. And that way, it's not too intense on those shoulders. And remember, you don't have to go up super high behind you. Right to here is fine. So it's going to go row, down, out, down, row. Just alternating between. 30 seconds. All right, here we go. All right, feet together, a little bit of space, bend those knees, sit those hips back, pull the core in, and row, squeeze those scapulas together to fly. Row. It's really easy to get carried away and start going crazy and opening those arms too wide. So think about control. Last one. And break. All right. We have some split squats. So you have two options. We're going to do our right leg first. You can do them just as is, holding. Think down, up, and I had mentioned this in spot. If you're doing your lunges or your squats and you notice that staying up like this makes it really, really tight right here, lean it forward. Again, keeping it nice and flat and doing it just like this. That will help that tension in that foot. You can also hold your dumbbells here. Or if you want to make this even harder, find something to put your back foot up onto, which I think I will do today, because why not? You know what I'm going to use? A laundry basket, because that's how we do it here. All right, we're going to do our right leg first. Hold my baby weights. All right, here we go. Get into that position. Get that right leg out in front and bend it down and up. Up and down. Keep breathing, keep that core pulled in. 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. Left leg comes in front. And also just do them straight up and down. Just like that. 5 seconds to breathe. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and go for it. Bring it down and up. Watch that front knee. Last one, and break. So that is it. If you have a box that you want to put your foot on, I'm not doing that again. All right, we got 2 more. So we have some mountain climbers. We're going to do some nice, you can break them down, do them slowly, knee to elbow. Or if you want to burn a little bit more calories or get that heart rate up a little higher, do it as fast as you can. Here we go. We're going to go up on those hands. Plank position. Pull it in and knees under. Here we go. Hands should be under the shoulders. Take it slow as needed. Three, 2, 1, and break. Flip it over. Lay it down on your back. We have some flutter kicks. So from here, options. Feet up in the air, hands down. One leg comes down, other leg comes down. Keeping them as straight as you can. Otherwise, I want you to lift those shoulder blades up, feet hover, and they're just alternating in the air. The lower it is, the harder it is. 30 seconds. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go for it. Keep that low back pressed into the floor. Last one, and break. All right, take a second, grab some water. And we are going to repeat through from the top. One more time. All right. We have our side steps, our side squats. All right. Okay. We are ready. 15 seconds left, so breathe. All right. Get ready to get in that squat position. Pull that core in, shoulders back. Here we go, sit it back. Find that squat, bring it together, and open and close, side to side. As you get a little higher, try to bring it back down low. Three, 2, 1, break. Okay, almost there, we're getting through it. Body saw, down to the elbows. All right. Bring it down on those elbows, open up those hands, palms flat on the floor, elbows under the shoulders. Here we go. Inhale up, hold it in that plank position, and rock it forward and back. Keep breathing. You got 10 seconds. and break. All right. We have our sumo squats. All right. Find a weight, or I will use my big dumbbell today. Get as low as you can go. Go ahead and add a nice little hold at the All right, we have feet hip.
I think your microphone keeps cutting in and out. Just FYI.
Oh, it's my phone? Last one, and rest. All right, right leg in front. Here we go. Think of driving that back left knee straight. Go. All right, left foot in front. Three, two, ten seconds. if you have that snapping hip and it's bothering you right now. Keep those eyes looking up at the ceiling. Three, two, one, and break. All right, go ahead and stay in that position. Right here on our back, we're going to take our feet and press them down into the floor. We're going to do single leg glute bridges. Unless it's your first time doing glute bridges, and then you'll stick with a regular glute bridge, just lifting, holding, and starting from there. If this is not your first time doing a glute bridge, and you've been doing these with me for a while, you're probably almost a pro. So we are going to start with our right leg, single leg only. So what we do is we're going to go all the way up, both legs on the ground, up and hold this bridge. Go ahead and join with me. We're holding. Find that position where you're pulling that core in, glutes are squeezed. Now slowly take that left foot up off the ground, and you can hold it. You can keep it bent, you can keep it straight, you can bring it straight up, wherever is comfortable. Just hold it and keep lifting those hips up. Fight it in that right glute. Bring it down, breathe, and lift for 5. Press through that heel, lift up for 1, up 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold it. One more time. Extend that leg straight. If it's not already, hold it for 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. We are going to do the same thing with that left leg. Take a second to stretch them out. All right. Place those feet into the floor. Inhale in, lift, squeeze, and hold. Now slowly pick that right foot up off the ground. Hold here. Press through that left heel. Keep that glute lifted and squeezed. Hold it and bring it down. And we're going to again lift for 5. Press through that heel, lift up, squeeze 1, up 2, 3, 4, and 5. Last one, bring it up, hold, extend that leg straight, squeeze, and bring it down. Bring both knees into the chest. And from here, we are going to extend one more time that left leg out straight, right knee is bent. We're going to lift that leg off the ground. We're going to slide it out to the side, as far to the side as you can get it, and back in line, and repeat. Over to the side, and back in line, repeat, and switch legs. Left leg's bent, right leg comes out, slide it out to the side, and repeat. Feels like that TV show, Molly and the Big Comfy Couch, if anyone has ever seen that. She's the clock with her feet. And last one, bring it in. Happy baby, grab the insides of those feet, press them down on each side of you. And inhale up for a butterfly position. Press the feet together. Lean it forward. And take some nice deep breaths and hang out here. And slowly extend those feet out in front of you. You gotta bring it a little closer. Reach for the toes. One last nice little stretch. Take a nice big breath in. and relax and let it go. Shake it out. And that is it for today, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. This week just flew by. Don't forget to hydrate. Go drink some water. Get outside. Wear sunscreen. You know the deal. Enjoy your Thursday, guys.